All right, we're official. So, welcome everyone to our Yellowstone virtual tasting. We were super fortunate, Chase's phone here. We were super fortunate to be able to have Stephen Beam come lead our tasting, but unfortunately, he's a little under the weather. He's still here, but he brought in Colonel Stephen Fontaine, and we're really excited to have both of you. I mean, this is two for the price of one. This is great. So, thank you so much. Before we get going, just
Yeah,
want to run over a few rules for us. I'm going to have everybody muted. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Tyler's going to answer them, send them forward. We'll deal with them online here. And at the end, we'll have an open Q&A. Um, we're going to be starting off with the number one, the Yellowstone Espresso Cocktail. And we've recommended everyone to pour that over some ice, give it a good stir. And that's where we're going to be starting tonight. So thank you all for joining us. And I would love to have our guests introduce themselves. Um, Stephen Beam, would you like to give it a shot with what's left of your voice?
I will. So, yes, Steve Beam, boy, they're not going to be able to get much out, but the founder and the master distiller at Limestone Branch Distillery, responsible for all the new products coming out. And uh, I'm very happy with the new cocktails that we just introduced. So, and that's about as much as I can get out.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. And we're also really fortunate, and we met Colonel Stephen Fontaine out here this summer at our Spirit Showcase. Great having you, sir, and please tell us about you.
I'm Stephen Fante. I'm the global brand ambassador for Yellowstone Kentucky Straight Bourbon and the right hand of Stephen Beam. I always like to say whatever he's not doing is what I typically am doing. And right now, well, we're both doing this. So we travel a lot. We meet with a lot of people. We represent the brands of Yellowstone, Minor Case, and Bowling and Birch Gin.
Yeah, it's pretty special to have you both in the same location. That doesn't happen too often. And fortunately, we've been able to hang out with both of you guys in separate times, and so we have you both. That's great. Um, all right, so we're going to start off with just talking a little bit about Yellowstone and tell us about your story of Yellowstone and how long it's been around and how it's created.
Steve, you want me to
Steven,
take that?
because I'm not going to be able to.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yellowstone has been around since 1872. Yellowstone is one of the oldest bourbon brands in the United States history. It's the second oldest brand that has been continuously served since 1872. And so we're very proud of that. It's always done a lot for the national parks. We are one of the largest supporter of the National Parks and Conservancy in America. And so for every bottle of Yellowstone that you purchase, a percentage goes back to the national parks. This brand ran through both stills, mother and fathers. And most people do not realize that Stephen's family is related to the Dance, his mother's side. So J.W. Dant being great great grandfather, and Minor Case Beam on the other side. Minor Case Beam's distillery was in Gethsemane. The Cold Spring Distillery was in Gethsemane. Bernard Dant's distillery was the first distillery to distill Yellowstone bourbon whiskey. It was Charles Townsend coming off the West Coast, 1872. He was coming through Wyoming. He came back to the distillery with a buzz. He said, Bernard, name a bourbon after this park out west, and it's going to do really well. And it's been carried on the shelves ever since. So that's Mama's side of the family. Then Minor Case Beam, 115 days after Prohibition was abolished, passed away. He never got his old Trump distillery reopened in Gethsemane. And then Cold Spring took it over and started running those stills again. They started running Yellowstone through those stills. So it's literally the bloodline of Stephen Beam's family on both sides.
Excellent. Excellent. So right now, Yellowstone is a part of Limestone Branch Distillery.
Correct. It's the
And
parent is Limestone Branch Distillery. The children are Yellowstone, Minor Case Rye, in Bowling and Birch.
and where is that located?
It's in Lebanon, Kentucky, dead center of the state. We're 9 miles around the corner from Maker's Mark, and they're putting a little thing called an ocean in behind us. Jefferson's Ocean, right there on the fence line.
Okay. All right. My son just came home from college, so making a lot of noise over here. So, all right, great. So we keep hearing the name Beam a lot here. And so last time we met with Steven, he told us a little bit of how the family worked and everything. Can you expand a little bit on that, of the name line?
Sure. Jacob was the first one to distill in the state of Kentucky. Jacob's family was from Germany. He was born in Pennsylvania, and then it wasn't until Jacob came to Kentucky that the last name of Boom, Boehm, Umpla, got changed over to Beam. When he got to Kentucky, they changed the name to Beam. I blame that on us Kentucky boys. They couldn't pronounce that other thing. So Steve's family goes back to Jacob. And on this side of the family that you've heard about in the Beam family primarily is that one with that little distillery down in Claremont. And those
Yes.
folks over at that little distillery, well, they were all part of that little distillery over in Claremont. But our distillery, the family line from our distillery, reopened the marketplace. They reopened the majority of the distilleries. When you talk about the big 6 or the big 7 distilleries that are in the state of Kentucky, 6 out of the 7 of the distilleries had a Beam as their distiller or master distiller over the years. Over 68 different brands of bourbon can relate themselves directly back to this family. It is the most influential family in bourbon history, bar none. And Steve Beam is from the side that reopened all the distilleries.
That's
Joe Beam
incredible.
is one of my favorite characters. Go ahead, Steve.
After Prohibition, they went out and opened back up the distilleries.
So I was going to say,
ahead,
Joe
Stephen.
Beam was one of those that reopened distilleries after Prohibition, and the one he started opening was Stitzel Weller, back when the Pappy Van Winkle had nothing to do with buffaloes.
Yeah. Yes. All right, great. So let's start off with our first pour tonight. We have our Yellowstone Select, the 93 proof. Can you tell us about this one?
Fantastic juice. It is done kind of like a blended scotch is done off of a column and a pot still. It's between 75 and 78% yellow corn, and then rye and barley. And in saying that, how can you vary on your corn content? Well, because some of it's being run off a column still and some of it's being run off a pot still. The pot still juice is from our distillery at Limestone Branch, and it's got an earthy, kind of dirty, kind of grittiness, which holds up really well to a cocktail. All of the mash stays in the actual pot, so it's a little bit heavier than what you are accustomed to traditionally. It's what your great-great-grandfather used to drink, right off the pot. Then the column still. Well, where's our column still at? Well, it's over at Lux Row Distillery over in Bardstown. That's light and effervescent as it comes off the column. It goes through all those plates, and it comes off with a lighter, cleaner taste. You blend that together with the pot still juice, and you get Yellowstone Select. Okay. What other bourbon do you guys know of that's done off a pot and a column?
I don't. That's rare. And I was going to ask you if the mash bill was going to be different for all of these products, and it sounds like it's going to be.
Woodford Reserve is the one that comes to my mind.
Okay.
Chris Morris, he has those pot stills over there in Frankfurt. Now, according to what I've heard, Chris tells the story that it all comes from their distillery, Woodford Reserve Distillery. Well, there's no way that a pot still is going to produce enough whiskey to cover all 50 states and all the countries that Woodford is supplied in. That wouldn't fill the airplane bottles. So you got to have a column in the background. And their column would be down on Dixie Highway, the old Forester column. They blend the pot and the column together, and that's the reason that I love Woodford Reserve so much, is because it's done so much like Yellowstone. Back in the days when I was delivering coffee, I delivered coffee to United Distilleries. Craig Beam opened the gates. Craig Beam was distilling in that distillery, and Chris Morris was in the office doing accounting and stuff, and he was signing the bill for me, and they were making Yellowstone Kentucky straight bourbon at that time. So it's very serendipitous for a Kentucky boy that delivered coffee to be the global ambassador for the brand that he used to deliver to.
That's great.
That's that story.
Yeah.
Thanks to Stephen Bean.
Yeah, Linda, you're right. That is full circle right there. It's amazing how that all comes together. I mean, this 93 proof, it really easy to drink, very approachable. I haven't tried it in a cocktail. You're saying it holds up really well?
Does. It holds up real well in a cocktail. It's super easy to drink on a block of ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a blend of 4 and 7-year-old. 4 and 7-year-old. And chose the 93 proof because that's what I felt that was best served neat out of the bottle. If you can hear me.
I heard you clear, Froggy. It's all my brother drinks. Greg Fante comes to the house and all he'll drink is Steve's 93 proof Yellowstone Select.
Yeah, very approachable. You're getting I'm getting like a little bit of like honeysuckle on the nose, and it's very tasty.
While we're nosing, we got a question in the chat from Todd K. Says Yellowstone has a similar nut type taste as Beam. I assume the other brand Beam. Any idea why it's similar?
Huh. That's a good question. I haven't drank that many Beam products from over there, so I can't really answer that one. Steve, do you got a little bit in you for that one?
They have a very similar mash bill, and I would imagine the yeast is probably very similar as well.
Mm-hmm. There you go. We're using Minor Case Beam's yeast strain thanks to Stephen Beam and the Oscar Getz Museum taking the donut jug of Minor Case over to Dr. Patrick Heist, where he scraped the inside of it, took the DNA off the inside wall, matched it to a current yeast strain in his cryogenic laboratory. 100% genetic match, which means that it was Minor Case Beam's yeast strain from over 100 years ago.
Wow.
So they may be using something similar to that over at that other distillery.
I've been told that they all used to switch the yeasts around. So, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, if somebody needed a start, they would help them out or whatever. So, yeah.
Those guys all hung out together. The Maker's Mark and those Beam Boys and everybody was hanging out. T.W. Samuels, all those Booker, all those characters back in the day.
All stuff we enjoy to drink. So
exactly.
All right. So moving on to our second pour. It's our Yellowstone Rum Cask finish. This is 100 proof. I didn't see an age statement on it.
If it doesn't have an age statement, it's over 4 years old. And I'm not sure exactly what the blend is on that, but I do know this. It's finished in Cuban rum cask, and it's finished just at the right point of time because Stephen Beam was down in Florida having a hurricane during the time that it happened. And I had to keep checking on the samples to get to him. So very meticulous about it. What was it, 4 to 6 weeks that you aged it in those barrels, Steve?
It was a little bit longer than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember you being a little bit tight on the fact that it was becoming a little tannic on the back end, and you fixed all that, and it came out to be what I think is going to be the #1 selling bourbon whiskey we've got. It's so approachable. It's got that hint of rum on the back end. Everybody that sees the label might see rum and be like, I don't want rum. I'm a bourbon drinker. Well, he's a 7th-generation Beam. And if you go to Thanksgiving dinner and any product you produce isn't bourbon forward, you're kicked out of the dinner. That's the way that works.
That's fair.
So everything that Stephen Beam does is bourbon forward with a hint of something in the background that just makes your mind go, what? I happened to be in Ohio not too long ago, and I ran across this speakeasy cocktail bar. And when I have something like that, and I've got these specialists, these cocktail specialists in front of me, I never ask them for a cocktail of a specific type. I asked them if they would make something out of the product that we have. This particular cocktail specialist made a mojito out of that. And that was the best damn mojito I'd ever drank in my entire life. And so was everyone in the room that day. And some of them were from different distributors. They were from different companies. And they tasted it and said, holy cow, this makes one hell of a bourbon mojito. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
Anything that you make with rum, you could make with the rum cast finished Yellowstone bourbon.
So
is this the first year it's been released?
The 100 proof?
The rum cask finish.
Yes, sir. It's been released. It's in all 50 states as far as I know.
Is this the first year?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's first year.
And so next year you'll have a second batch, or is this a one-off?
No, it's a continuous product.
All right. And so I see this and the next one are both 100 proofs. Are they going to be the same mash bills, or are we using different product in both of these finishes?
I understand it to be the same mash bill. That's correct, Steve?
They're the same mash bill. And they're about 4 to 5 years old.
Okay.
4 to 5 year old barrels.
Age 4 to 5 years, and then finished in the Cuban rum cast for about
a couple months.
Actually, it's about it was about 3 months.
Okay.
In the rum. Yeah.
Okay. So we're getting some interesting tasting notes over here. People are talking about the tropical play and some ginger.
It's great on a block of ice, just like it is. I really enjoy it cold, and it's just a great drinking bourbon. And when you put it across lips like you guys are doing right now, and thank you for doing this, it is one of those ones that endears itself to you almost immediately.
I mean,
I like it when it's outside. It's this kind of a fruity, light and fruity bourbon. So I usually drink my bourbons neat, and when it's warm outside, I like something a little bit lighter with the fruitier notes.
Yeah.
Which that rum cast really works for me.
I have a question for the rum you guys chose to finish in. Was there a difference between this type of, I think Stephen said, Cuban rum versus other type of Barbados and other regions? Why this one?
Cane sugar.
It was made with molasses, and we wanted the molasses that the flavors from the molasses to come through, rather than from a sugarcane juice, or there's different methods that people make rum, but I wanted a molasses based rum to use that from.
Yeah. I've had several Yellowstone products, and I've sat down and drank with both of you, and none of them have been hot on the taste and very approachable. I like this.
Well, thank you.
Steve's very meticulous. Anything that he's ever done that I've seen him do, he's beat himself up about it. He comes to marketplace with it. He's always worried about what everybody's going to think about it. He has me taste it. I'm like, holy crap, you've done it again. And he's like, you really like it? I'm like, yeah, I do. And then it comes to market, and you guys get to taste it like this, and it's beautiful to see your all's expressions and your comments.
So
Absolutely.
Another question about this is, like, when you're sitting down tasting a finished whiskey, how many of you are sitting down together? How many people have input on this, or is this on you and you're just asking for some backup?
It's on him, and he has only because I've got a pedestrian palate, whether or not I like it or not.
Yeah, I try to make what I like, and then I hope other people like it as well. So far, It's worked out pretty good.
All right.
Hey, Jay, can you show the bottle? Somebody wants to see the bottle.
Yeah. So here's the rum cast right here.
Back it up just a hair.
I saw
There you
this at Total Wine today in Long Beach. It's available.
Nice.
Yeah, High Proof has it too.
So
Tell them both thank you when next time you're in for carry day.
there was a very nice gentleman at Total Wine that had his picture up on the wall there, directing a guy to some other products, and I was sitting there listening, going, "Oh dear God, no!" And so, yeah, we try to straighten them out as soon as we can after they leave. All right, so our third pour today, our fourth pour, I guess, is our Yellowstone Toasted finish. This is a 100 proof Canadian or Kentucky straight bourbon here. I didn't see an age statement on this one either.
Is this be the same as the rum cask, about a 4 to 5 year old bourbon?
Okay. All right. Similar
Same
mash bill.
as before.
Okay.
Same mash bill as before.
So when it
Yeah.
says toasted, what is the difference between a toasted finish for you?
Well, toasted bourbons a lot of times have been done in a barrel that's been toasted, lots of them. Mr. Beam kind of reverse engineered this thing. He did 7 different staves at 7 different toast levels, and then added those staves to the blended whiskey. So you've taken on the characteristics of all those different flavors. It's multi-layered and multi-flavors that you're picking up on. It has a little bit of an oakiness on the back end, and I really think that Toasted is the best Manhattan I've ever had. I think that if you ever try a Manhattan with that Toasted, you're going to hate me because not every bar carries it. And you're going to want it at every bar that you go to. I drank a lot of Manhattans, and that's the best Manhattan I've ever drank is the Toasted.
So you're making your standard mash bill, putting it in a charred barrel. What char are you using?
A number 3 char.
A number 3 char. And
Number
then
3
after
char, 4 to 5 years, then it gets the staves added.
okay. And so you're
Blend it
leaving it in the
together in the
same
big
barrel.
batch.
We did it. Yeah. So that in 2016, I did a toasted with the barrels. We did toasted barrels,
Yep.
and our limited edition was a toast. That was actually done in the toasted barrels. But it's pretty expensive to do it that way. We wanted to bring something to market on an everyday level. So we worked with Independent Stave to come up with, she gave me about 30 different staves to play with. And of that 30, I chose those that we used. I didn't want it to be one note, and I didn't want it to be taste like a young woody, that young wood, new wood. And actually, I'm allergic to that oak, and so I get like this when I drink it.
Oh,
That's the funniest thing ever. I mean, I knew a girl named Tammy Conti that was allergic to coffee, and her father was the biggest coffee producer in the state of Kentucky. And now I know a 7th-generation Beam that's allergic to new oak that gets hives if he drinks
New
it.
oak, the old oak,
He's good with old
it's
oak.
the tannins in the new. Yeah, good with old, not good with new. Some of the red wines that use tannins, I can't drink either. That do it to me.
Well,
I really
put a
enjoy
beverage
this.
in the tree.
Just to be clear, you put it in a toasted barrel for about 4 years.
No.
We
And
put
then
in
you add the
charred
staves.
Charred.
I'm sorry, charred barrel. And then you add the staves.
In the big vat of blended. You blend
That's what I'm
all the
saying.
barrels together, and then the
Okay.
staves go to the vat. It's kind of reverse engineering.
Okay. So it's not done by barrel. It's a big batch.
Yeah.
Well, the
Larger
barrels are
batch.
done independently, but they're blended together in a big batch.
Mhm.
And then the staves are added, and then they're pulled at the right moment. And that's when he feels that, wow, that's got the perfect finish. Pull the staves. So it took San Francisco Spirits Award double gold, by the way. I like to
believe
say what he's done here is extraordinary. And I also like to say, I feel like 2016, the first toasted bourbon whiskey that I know of. I know there might have been one before it, but I don't know who they are. I think Stephen Beam created the toasted category. I give him that credit. Whether anybody else does, I don't care. He's still getting the credit.
I have to give you a little more credit than just great whiskey. The price point on your whiskey is outstanding, by the way. And so we appreciate you making good stuff and putting it at a great price, because you're getting some really good stuff. And Tyler just posted, this is available at high proof for $39.99. I mean,
Beautiful.
that's a great price. Quality whiskey right there.
If you can't afford to buy it, you can't afford to drink it. We want you drinking our whiskey.
Yeah, that nose, you're getting a lot
Steve
of
needs
that
a new voice.
toasted. Yes. Getting a lot of that toasted nut on the nose, and on the taste, you're getting several flavors evolving there. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I definitely wanted that layers. I really did not. I worked really hard not to have it a one note in that oak, that toast, because several of the toasted that I've had is kind of a one note, kind of one dimensional whiskey, and I wanted it to be multi-layered.
And the char still finishes. You still get that char at the end, even with that number 3 char. It's not washed away. I mean, there's a lot going on here. And for 100 proof whiskey, I mean, this is bold. It's really, really flavorful. There's no burn. Coats your entire mouth. Like, you're feeling all of this. It's great.
Quick question from Jim in the chat. Are they baking the oak before they char?
Is it a toasted and then charred barrel that we're using, or is it just a charred barrel for the bourbon?
Yeah,
It's a free
it's
char
just
barrel for
charred
the bourbon.
barrel.
And then the toast
Right.
comes in on the staves. The staves are toasted at different toast levels and at different types of all of that is then added to the finished blend.
All right.
So each batch, do you taste each one to see like when it's ready, or how does that
Taste
work?
it multiple times to see when it's
Right.
ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then once that one gets bottled, the next batch you do the same thing.
Exactly.
Wow. We want your job.
If you need any backup, let us know. We'll fly out. All right, Todd, you have the 5th bottle, right?
I do.
Our small batch 6-year, 107 proof. Do you have that one with you? Uh-oh.
I do. Give me a second.
Somebody's letting us down here. So our 5th pour, he didn't trust me with all the bottles because he knows I'd drink them. So our 5th pour tonight is our small batch Yellowstone 6-year 107 proof. I don't have that bottle, but I thought there was an age statement on that one.
There is. It is 6 years old.
It says 6-year.
6.
That's right. Okay.
Big 6 on it.
He gave me a sample for that one. I didn't get the real bottle this time.
And that's a great whiskey. I'm really, really pleased with this one.
I like to say it's the revitalization of a brand. If a brand needed a revitalization, and I don't say that ours does, but after Kevin Costner got shot in the head, we decided to come out with something that would be extra special. And since we don't have to sell all this whiskey to Canada anymore, we got plenty of it for you guys. Let's make a blend out of it that they're going to be impressed with.
Yeah.
I think this should be on the back bar of every restaurant, every bar in America. And once it is, it's going to be one of the bigger brands that you've ever heard of. When Yellowstone is drank out of this particular batch, out of this, that's as good as all of our single barrels. In my opinion, small batch is as good as a single barrel. It's unique. It's different. It's got the proof It's got great legs. It's got great body. It's got great linger. It's got everything that I like about Kentucky bourbon whiskey. It's a
And
hit.
and when you can get a
Yep.
6-year bourbon for $40 to $50, that is a great buy for a 107 proof.
Sorry, this year you're releasing a 7-year, if I'm not, am I mistaken?
That's on the single barrel picks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All of our single beers are 7 this year.
Okay.
7 or older.
Right.
Okay. So this bottle will be a shelf stable. You'll have it every year. The 6-year
Yes.
107 proof.
That one's going to be the flagship of the brand. And we're
Okay.
putting that on the main sale.
Yeah.
You mean besides the limited editions that you do, right?
Yeah, those
Or
are
these,
one-offs. Those are unique. Those are different. Those are unicorns. This
but
is
these
our
will
main
continue.
sale.
Right.
We'll
These will
throw
continue
those.
to have. You'll continue to have these limited releases every year.
Always have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it
This
gets
year was
creative.
10 years old. 10 years old. With the first time we ever blended Indiana and Kentucky whiskey. So we used MGP bourbon and Kentucky bourbon blended in with this year's 10-year-old limited edition.
Ian
And it's a
Steersman.
really a great whiskey.
Both Stephen Beam and Ian Steersman got together and went through the rick houses and tasted a shit ton of whiskey to come up with that.
So when you say a small batch, how do you define that? How big of a production is this?
That's a really good question because nobody in the industry really puts a number on how many barrels are
Exactly.
in a small batch. But at the same time, Steve, chime in.
Well, it depends on the size of the company, but Jim Beam, it might be 500 barrels or, but for us, it's about 50 barrels or so
You said
at a
50?
time. 50.
Yeah, 50.
50 blended together at a time.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
character to this. And I know my guy Brian over here, he really loves that 107 proof point. Like
I do
this
too.
tugs at a lot of
It's a
people
great,
where
And that's $42.99 at high proof, Tyler.
I don't see it in stock at high proof right now. Looks like $42.99 at Total Wine.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Actually, yeah. Good luck finding these. It was out of stock at a lot of places. So
Great.
because we thought we were going to need the one extra bottle, and I had to go find it. So yeah, took me like 4 or 5 stores.
God bless you.
this is good. I mean, you're getting a lot of pepper on the finish, but before that, you're getting the stone fruit, you're getting that cherry coming through. I mean, this is bold whiskey. I love it.
yeah. For me, that's kind of like the definition of Kentucky straight bourbon in that bottle.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to know Jimmy Beam, Steve's dad. What a character that man was. And he always said 6 years was all you needed to age a damn bourbon in metal rick houses. Metal rick houses take in the influence of the weather so much more frequently than a stone warehouse over at Woodford or a brick rick house over at Buffalo Trace. The climate hits the barrels, goes in and out of the oak much more frequently in that type of a rick house. And that's what we're in. We're in metal clad rick houses. And therefore, 6 years is a great year statement for our whiskeys. You can go older, but 6 years is a damn good age statement.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, are any of these chill filtered, or maybe non-chill filtered?
Non-chill filtered. We are not chill filtering anymore. The Select still gets chill filtered a little bit, slightly, but we're not chill filtering.
If you take and put a block of ice on a bourbon and it goes cloudy, it's non-chill filtered typically. So if you get a little bit of cloudiness in your bourbon, that's okay. That means that it hasn't been brought down to that cooler temperature to keep it clean.
All right. Yeah, Linda, the chill filter thing, we've heard a lot about it, and it's a big selling point for a lot of people, but it's so good on this. All
Steve,
right,
I think
so
that you've told me before, chill filtering will take away some of the flavor, but it gives better clarity.
It does. It does take away some of the flavor.
He doesn't like that.
Yeah.
There's Case. You hear him? Case is woofing back here.
Yeah, I hear him.
I got all the puppies. I got Louie, I got Case, and I got Char here at the house. We're all sitting at the little Havana tasting bar, and they're chilling. They're enjoying themselves.
Well, that Case is barking at something.
Anything, squirrel.
so last summer we were fortunate enough to sit down with Stephen Beam and do a barrel pick. And we were able to do this Yellowstone barrel pick, and it was great. He lined up 3 different barrels for us, all proof to different proof points. And we ended up picking the 119, which he knew we would. But I forget, Stephen, what was the other levels? Was 107 one of them?
109, 115, 119.
109.
109, 115, and 119 are the proof points we chose because that's given a variation, deep variation. Everybody that does a barrel pick tastes multiple proofs so that they can influence the pick as much as the master distiller or myself, the barrel house manager. When you guys come, you get an opportunity to blind taste, and I know Steve does it similar to the way I do it, and you guys got a hell of a pick.
Yes. So it was a great experience. We sat down with Stephen. We were in the ranch down here in Anaheim, and
Right.
we were able to try all of those picks. And it's kind of funny because Todd and I were going back and forth. Tyler was there. Got helicopters. Can you hear me, Todd, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were going back and forth, and I was trying to influence the guys on a lower proof one just to do something different and everything. But we gravitated straight to this barrel. And Steven looked at us, he goes, "Yeah, that's fantastic. That's the one." And we all agreed. We're like, yeah, I didn't want to agree with Todd. Tyler was the one that made the final decision. But yes, this was our
Just
Yellowstone
going
single barrel.
going back, if you haven't done a barrel pick before, normally you walk in and you try it straight from the barrel. We've done it at several different places. They say try it, right? So most places, well, a lot of places give it to you at barrel strength, and it is what it is.
Full flavor.
Other places, they're going to water it down to something, but you don't know what it's going to taste like when it gets there because
Nope.
they're tasting it out of the barrel. So this was very unique because they do the same barrel, 3 different strengths already pre-done. So you knew exactly what you were going to get as a finished product. At another distillery,
Right.
we tried what we thought was probably one of the top 5, top 10 bourbons we've ever tried. And it was at 132 proof. We got it at 110 and 101, if that gives you any hint as to which distillery. One of them tasted great. The other one was not anything like the one we picked. So this was a very unique experience. Nobody else that we've tasted with does it. Even when you try, when you're going to pick a foolproof or a 107, they give it to you and they say, "Oh, you taste it," and they say, "Oh, you can make it either one." And you're like, "Well, how do you know what it's going to taste like when you water it down to 107?" Or so this was a unique experience, and it was great because the finished product was what we thought it was going to be, and we think it's great. Obviously, we picked it, but yeah, it's very different than anybody else, than the way anybody else does it in Kentucky.
I'm guesstimating that I've done 5,700 barrel picks.
Wow.
And I'm guesstimating that I've been to all 7 of the major distilleries and done barrel picks. Because people come to Kentucky and they're doing a barrel pick and they say, "Hey, Fante, what are you doing today?" "Smoking cigars, drinking whiskey." "You want to do it for free?" I said, "I am." And then they invite me to come on their barrel pick with them. And I go to the barrel pick and we taste it cask strength. we're buying apples, we're getting oranges when it comes. I can't tell you how many people have told me that have done barrel picks. We did not get what we purchased when it came to our facility. And so, when Stephen Beam set up this program, by God, it is the best program, I feel, for barrel picks because you're buying what you're tasting. We used the $45,000 Anton Par to bring the proof down to 109. We used the $45,000 Anton Par to bring it to 115 and 119, the same machine that we use for the federal government when they come in and test a bottle of whiskey that's out on a shelf and say, hey, you all are off. No, we're not. We're dead on target. So what you're tasting in our barrel picks is exactly what's going to come to your store. And you get the sample once you've said, hey, I want barrel such and such at this proof. We give you the sample to bring back with you. And if you taste it with the bottles that come to your store, they're identical. The reason that our barrel picks are getting worldwide acclaim is because we're doing our diligence. And we're doing it blind at the distillery. I don't know how Steve did it with you guys, but we don't talk during the pick at the distillery. We don't talk about the pick. We don't talk about the liquor at all. We'll talk about everything that you want to talk about except that. And at the end of it, I poll all the people. What did you like at 109? What did you like at 115? What did you like at 119? And I put stars next to their answers. The coolest thing about my damn job is the stars align every time. The majority of the stars, I turn around on the book and say, this is the majority of the people coming into your facility. This is the majority of the people that are in your bourbon society that are going to enjoy this bourbon. It's already been proven as the best because all the stars aligned on that particular barrel at that particular proof.
Yeah,
No,
to your point, yes. So when we did the tasting, right, Tyler can attest to this. Stephen said, okay, pick your favorite at this proof. And we did. And then pick your favorite at the middle proof and pick your favorite at the high proof. And then
taste them side by side is what I do.
Exactly. That's what
That's
Stephen
a tea
said.
sommelier kind of thing.
Let's go back and go your favorite 109, your favorite middle and your favorite high. And we kept going back and forth, and then finally they all agreed I was right. So
but
feels
you're right.
good to be right.
You're right. We tried to pull all the information out of Steven, and that guy was an oak. He wouldn't give us anything. So, so yeah, it was a great experience, and it was really unique to how you guys do it. And so that was a lot of fun. We ended up with an 8-year single barrel 119. What do you guys go in at barrel? When do you barrel entry? What's your proof at barrel entry?
Steve, isn't it 106, 107?
He's asleep.
We go in at 109 and then
109.
109 and then Lux Row and MVP go in at 125, 124.9.
So it's pre-prohibition barrel proofing. Before prohibition hit, a majority of the distilleries were in at those lower proofs. Let me give kudos to one of our neighbors, Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark has been doing that low proof entry proof since the beginning, and they haven't changed it. So kudos to Bill Samuels and the Samuels family for doing that. It does make a difference on the finished product in the back end.
I agree. Michter's is also a low entry proof.
I like those guys.
Yeah, and you're adding less water at the end.
Right.
And so to get to 119, you're getting more of the actual juice that you created. And that's great. I love that. So yeah, so our barrel pick.
Question from the group. Any plans on releasing a pot still only bourbon?
Oh, that'd be great. That's so great. Got to have that at the distillery, Steve. You got to do it. You got to do it, damn it.
Where we are talking about it. So it may be in the future. We did do a family recipe, which was our pot still.
You guys got some of it on the West Coast there for just a little bit.
Distillery.
The family recipe is one of the finest things he's produced.
Yeah.
Jim's
so the
asking,
family recipe was the pot.
Jim's asking, what's the proof when it's coming off your still?
when I was coming off the still, we start collecting it right about 160 and take it down to right at 100.
Okay.
Proof.
All right.
And it usually averages about one high 20s to low 30s proof wise when it's all batched together. So when we'll start collecting when it gets about 100, right below 160 proof on the pot still, and we'll collect down to it gets right below 100, and that's where we cut. So that's our cut, and then the batch, all that together is usually high 120s, low 130.
All right. Yeah.
Has
So
anybody tried? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Jay. Has anybody besides Jay and I tried the cigar?
Y'all aren't smoking cigars in your houses? What the hell?
This ain't Kentucky. This ain't Kentucky.
Yeah, we shipped them out about a week ago, so they probably just received them this weekend or maybe even Monday. So maybe they haven't had time. But yeah,
Go ahead.
Sorry. If anybody has or when they do, we were able to secure some more. So if you really enjoy it, send me a DM. I may be able to get you a few more.
This is a very special project that I started 6 years ago with Rocky Patel, and we have produced one of the finest cigars, I think, in America. It's a Nicaraguan cigar in the volcanic soil with Cuban seed. The wrappers, the binders, the fillers, all of it are aged in our wet barrels, shipped over there to them. 27 barrels were shipped over. Some of those barrels are coming back to our distillery, and Stephen Beam is going to do something extraordinarily special. He's going to do a cigar finish in those barrels.
Ooh.
And we
Cigar
are going
boy?
to have an event at the distillery. And the event that I see for the future, and this is just me thinking, is going to have some of the rollers
Which
there.
is always
Go ahead, Steve.
it's always dangerous when he thinks.
Yes,
am I have to
it's
mute
very
him, Stephen?
dangerous. It's very dangerous because I get way out there on the cusp of making all of the corporate entity nervous. But guess what? I see a distillery-only event where y'all come down. We've got somebody out on the porch rolling cigars. You get an opportunity to buy a bottle of bourbon out of those barrels that were in Nicaragua for 2.25 years, 2.5 years, aging the tobacco that's in these cigars. And Steve's going to make something super special with whiskey in those barrels. We're going to reassemble the barrels back in Kentucky and finish a whiskey in those barrels that have had all of the tobacco that you all are smoking when you smoke these cigars. And the cigars are just like everything else that we've done. It's cigar forward with a hint of something in the background that says, holy crap, that's good. That's the whiskey coming through on the cigar, but it's just a hint of it. It's totally cigar forward, and then a hint of the bourbon on the back end. I think we've got the best bourbon cigar in American history. The rest of those cigars that are out there can, you know what?
Well, I hope Todd and I get an invite to that because we are in. That sounds awesome. We would love to do that. So, it's a nice smoke. I'm not a big smoker, and that one is a real easy, flavorful smoke. It's good. I like it. Well done.
My challenge to Nemish Desai and Nish Patel, Rocky's cousin, was I want a medium-bodied cigar that's going to hit the palates of the majority of the people because this is our first release. I want people to smoke this cigar and go, wow, that is a great solid cigar. It's a medium-bodied cigar, but it smokes more like a Maduro, but it's a medium-bodied cigar, and it's just got great flavor, great body. Everything that Yellowstone has in it, it has in it. The fact that Steve and I went down to Honduras and stayed at Rocky's house, and we went through Palencia, and we went through the entire factory, They've got their own staff. Rocky Patel does on staff there. We walked into the main room. There's probably close to 200 people rolling cigars, and they all stopped what they were doing and pounded on their desk. They pounded on their desk. And Nish looked over at us and said, "That's for you guys. You all are making an influence in this thing. We're going to partner. We're partnered with Rocky. We're going to do some really freaking cool things in the future with Rocky Patel, and it's going to be global."
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll try to stop thinking now.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much information about the brand and everything that's going on there. We've had a few questions pop up in the chat. I want to open up right now to anybody that wants to ask questions. If you want to unmute, ask them or send them through the chat. We'll move them forward.
I got a few from the chat. I can start reading off till then.
Go ahead.
Jim asks, how do you keep the tails out of the run? I think referring to the proof point you guys come off the still.
We cut at a pretty high, a high proof where the tails aren't coming through yet. So right below 100, the tails don't usually start to come through on ours still until you get down closer to 90 proof. So that we cut it before, and I did that because I knew I wouldn't necessarily be there all the time. So we had the guys cut it at a certain proof. They also are tasting and smelling as well, but we always cut it about right at 100 proof.
And Steve's right hand is Eric Downs. I don't know if you've ever met Eric Downs, but he is a fantastic distiller. He's been around since I've been around, pretty much since the beginning. Shortly after I was hired, Eric was hired. And Eric is very meticulous, and he runs a lot of the staff there at the distillery to get these things exactly the way Stephen Beam wants them.
Right. The day-to-day operations, Eric is in control of day-to-day for sure.
We had another question from the chat from Joseph. Would you guys release a 130 to 140 proof? Are you guys seeing that kind of high proof points in the older or higher rickhouse ages?
That is not in our. That's not in any time in the near future for sure. I'm not. But yeah, we just haven't gone there. Maybe that might be something that Remus or Ian may do, or John Rempe, but it's not anything that we're considering right now.
Nice to have a consortium of distilleries around you.
Joseph is saying that he loves the small batch at the proof. He's like, good stuff.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's a great whiskey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then another question for the chat. What's your wish list finish that you want to work on? Any upcoming projects or?
That's something Steve has to answer.
Yeah, and I kind of, I don't have anything that I'm really set on. I just kind of, for one thing, I have to take what's available. We take what's available and what we can get with our brokers that we work with, and yeah, I just kind of play it by ear and see what's available and see what I think will make a great whiskey. And I try to just get through the 1 year at a time. We just got through our 10-year 2025, although we are working on 2026 and 2027 right now.
That's the fun part about this industry and seeing Steve. Steve thinks 6 years out. He thinks about things that are coming that you all will like 6 years from now. I can't think 6 minutes ahead of myself. I work off of 48 hours out. People ask me, "What are you doing next week?" I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing next week. 48 hours from now, I can tell you that I'm going to be in New Jersey. That's about all I can tell you.
Colonel, I know what you're doing 6 minutes from now. You're having a drink.
Well, I do
When
that too. And you know, Steve Beam is a colonel also. He was a colonel
Oh,
before I was.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
I didn't know that. Okay.
that's Colonel Stephen Beam. He doesn't characterize himself that way, but by gosh, he is. And so is his brother Paul.
Yeah.
Colonel.
So,
More
Stephen,
questions.
oh,
The oldest juice that you've released, I think you already answered that. That's from the Select.
The oldest juice you've released, Steve, what is it? Is it the 10-year that we just released with
10
the
year.
mix?
10-year.
Okay. And then any rise in the works?
My
Well,
100 case rye is best of all bestesses.
we
Yeah, somebody mentioned that, but I guess they meant
we
for
are
Yellowstone.
fortunate. We're fortunate that we work with MGP, who makes the most rye of anybody in the country, and probably the best rye of anybody in the country. So we don't really make any rye at Yellowstone at our distillery. We're so small, you know, we dedicate everything to bourbon, but we do the minor case rye. I don't foresee any Yellowstone rye. I think any rye that we'll do will come out under the minor case label, which we do have a single barrel that we have, and we are going to have a 100% malted rye that will be
That's
a
the big
distillery
story.
only. Yeah.
So back in the early days of the distillery, Steve put a Connex container together and he did multiple mash bills of all different things to kind of figure out what we wanted to do in the future. And one of those things that hit the cash register the most was 100% malted rye. And we had 375 bottles out of a 15-gallon barrel, and it was extraordinary. And so now we're going to go back to something like that with MGP, a 100% malted rye that he chooses to bring into our distillery as a distillery exclusive. It's back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when all the suits came through, go ahead.
7-year-old and 53 gallon, 7-year-old, 100% malted rye. It's really nice.
yeah.
I'm excited as hell about it.
Minor case.
Uh-oh. I think I must be frozen.
And it's not minor cask. It's less than he has. We all our has to have like and
Life.
I definitely could narrate his life. I've narrated people's telephone answering. The guy asked me, he said, "Could you put my voicemail on? Could you do that for me?" Yes. And I did it. And he's continuing to use it.
All
This
right.
is
Well,
a voice for radio, not for television.
well, we want to be respectful of your guys' time. We know you're on the East Coast and it's late out there. And we want to thank you so much. But before you go, I just want to give a lot of credit to Corey and Ian. Your guys, they take really good care of us. They do a lot with us, and they've been great to work with. So it's been a lot of fun working with them. So yeah, I give those guys a lot of credit, and I hope we're going to be doing more barrel picks with you soon.
I can't wait to have you to the distillery.
And we've got a great
Before you guys, sorry, 1 second. Before everybody logs off, we have a few some more information. So if you could hang tight after we let them go, there's some stuff that you may want to hear.
I was just gonna say we got some great barrel pick for next year. A whole program. It's gonna be fun. So
we're gonna kick chickens next year on this new program. That's for damn sure. And you want to be involved with it. You want to come to the distillery and experience it.
Yeah.
I'll bring my good shoes for that.
Bring your old shoes for that. We're going to be all over the place.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Stephen.
Thank
I
you,
hope you feel
gentlemen.
better and appreciate you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good night. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. So West Coast Whiskey Club. Todd wants to talk to you about some stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I think I already mentioned.
I'm going to stop recording now. Hold on.
I thought you already did, but